First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. We appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here every weekday, starting at 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics. I always like to remind everybody of that in case this is your first time tuning in. Thanks for doing so. Don't forget to download the Fox 12 Oregon app. Great way to watch this show live or after the fact and everything else that we do here. But while I am here in studio right now, occasionally we do go out of studio. This is one of those segments we're going to be playing for you today. I took a trip out to the Hollywood Theater, the iconic theater in the Hollywood district there in Northeast Portland, to both talk about the theater some, but in particular, talk about a new bar they have opened up called Bar Hollywood, which has a David Lynch theme. Now, if you don't know who David Lynch is, he is a director who passed away earlier this year, but his storied career includes such TV shows as Twin Peaks, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, and tons of other ones. He's got a very dedicated audience and fandom that continues on to this day, and that's in part why the Hollywood Theater wanted to open up a bar that is themed in a la David Lynch. So that's what we went to take a look at. We spoke to Doug White, the executive director of the Hollywood Theater, just about the theater itself to get a little bit of that history, but also to show you what it looks like inside Bar Hollywood. Here we go. Doug, thanks for having us out. I have been excited to check this place out. But before we even get into where we're standing right now, I wanted to talk just about the Hollywood Theater a little bit. You know, because this is truly one of the most historic theaters here in town, maybe West Coast country. I don't know. Can you tell us just a little bit about the Hollywood?
Yeah, I mean, it was built in 1926. You know, it's a historic movie palace. It's on the National Register of Historic Places. We took it over, our nonprofit, in 1997. So ever since then, it's been a nonprofit. You know, we have 3 screens. We show different movies every night. We have first-run movies, new movies, but also a lot of repertory or older films, a lot of event-based screenings where it's sort of a one-night thing where maybe there's a director there or somebody involved with the film, or we play bingo to films. You know, there's a lot of different fun stuff that we do here.
Nice. So more than just a normal movie theater that you're going to go to. I mean, this is also history, but incorporating some of that community aspects too in the local film scene, or is, I imagine, a big part of it as well.
Oh yeah, we do it also like a ton of local premieres of films. Yeah. So yeah, we're very community based, and we have over 6,000 members, and they all like pay to be members, and they get benefits. But a lot of them do it just to support us because they like what we're doing, and they like our programming. They love the building. We also try as a nonprofit try and keep our prices lower than most other places. Particularly the big box chains. So we try and give back in that way, and yeah, we have great audiences, and we're full almost every night.
And I mean, the building itself is just immaculate with that giant marquee out there and all the different kinds of different rooms that you have incorporated into this thing.
Yeah, I mean, the facade is one of the most beautiful in the country. And we have the new marquee that was based off the old marquee from 1926. So, and yeah, the building is really interesting. You can drop a marble anywhere in it and it'll roll. Like that's just, everything's kind of like, topsy-turvy, and it's a funky building, it's a fun building. That main auditorium with the huge screen, 50-foot screen that we have is, we think, one of the best cinematic experiences in the city.
Well, I love that you're talking about how everything's kind of quirky. You drop a marble, it rolls around. I mean, because that kind of fits right into where we're at right now.
Yeah,
talking about quirky. So tell us about this room here where we're standing and how this concept came about for a David Lynch themed bar.
Yeah, so this is a new bar we just opened. It's called Bar Hollywood. It's just a beer wine bar and snacks, but so we own all the storefronts. There's all these storefronts at the Hollywood Theater, and finally decided I think it's about time we took one over for ourselves. We've always had tenants, and so we started thinking we wanted a community place for people to gather before and after films, to be able to talk about them, and just create community. And so, yeah, we finally decided let's take over one of our storefronts. As far as the Lynch theme, it was actually before he passed away, we started coming up with okay, well, is it the Shining theme that has an Oregon connection? But we just ended up on Lynch. Everybody loves Lynch, cinephiles and it's just, he's so distinctive and such a great artist, and we just knew it would make for an interesting, fun space. So we kind of like started with it a little bit. It was going to be a tiny bit Lynch, and then it just keeps getting added to, and it's
Nobody
actually
can do a
still
tiny
getting.
bit Lynch.
People will come in now, like it's still every time you come in, there'll probably be something new and different that we've added to it. Even a lot of customers will have ideas for us, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, you should put this here or put that there," and have you seen this? There's this David Lynch coffee or whatever. So even our customers and our members are helping us sort of continue to design the space.
Well, and David Lynch talked about that universal appeal, but also just particularly in Portland, in the Northwest, there is something about David Lynch that really strikes a chord with people. Like, what do you think that is?
Well, so when I first moved here, it was 2007, and the first thing I did was watch Twin Peaks, like to rewatch it. I'd already seen it, but it's like he creates that Pacific Northwest, like, mysterious vibe, and it's just sort of like the wind through the trees and the mountains and the fog and the sort of beautiful things that are happening while there's also, the dark underbelly. And so it kind of fits with Portland's sort of vibe, I think, as well.
Yeah, and I mean, it certainly has struck a chord because I've talked to a lot of people who were very excited when hearing there was a David Lynch themed bar that was opening.
Yeah. We've definitely had huge crowds. We opened it in conjunction with our David Lynch retrospective that we have that was about a week-long celebration of all of his films. And so we had to open. We weren't quite ready, but we had to open for that. And it was great. We had packed crowds in here every night.
Well, I mean, just the decor, the color, I mean, it's red.
Yeah.
It's definitely red. And then everything else that you got going in here. So what was kind of the thought process behind some of the key items in here?
Yeah, I mean, the main thing was first the color and the vibe. So there's a lot of red velvet. There's red walls, but also in the other room, which you'll see, we created the blue velvet corner. So there's also like a corner that's very cozy, but blue velvet. Then we just started putting up like, vintage Lynch posters, like this Wild at Heart one. There's other little things you'll see around here that are up in the corners. We have a baby eraser head that had an artist made for us. We actually have these film reel tables that were custom made for us.
Which are super cool.
Yeah, so it's just, and again, every week we're adding new things to it as they come about. So
for people walking in here who maybe if they don't know a lot about David Lynch, you mentioned the vibe in here that you wanted to get the feeling in here.
Yeah.
How would you describe the vibe of this bar to someone?
Moody, I would say, is the first thing. Is like that's sort of like, and also like when you hear when there's music on and at night. So we're here during the day. Like nighttime is the best time to be here when it's like it's very moody. The lights are red, the walls are red. There's like Lynch kind of themed music, and it's just got a very moody vibe, I think, is the only way to really put it.
Yeah. I mean, perfect to go with if you're going to go see a film.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and it's like. Also very, like, it's sort of a calming space too, even if it's crowded. And it's like, we want people to come in here and have conversations, right? Like, it's not a dance bar or anything like that, but you're coming in here to contemplate maybe what you just saw, talk about it with friends, have a drink. I mean, it's just beer and wine, and we have snacks. We also do have cherry pie and a damn fine cup of coffee. So if people want that, that's available.
There you go. I mean, you can't do it without a cherry pie.
Yeah, we didn't have it at first. We're like, we got that cherry pie, So.
Anything on the horizon that people should be looking forward to?
Well, we're going to be doing there'll probably be some special events in here too, like when we had artists in here. We're going to have DJs, so we're actually having a DJ booth built right now.
Nice.
So we'll have people in here, particularly like after a certain screening, like if we do Kung Fu Theater or if we have B-Movie Bingo, a lot of the times the people who are programming that are also DJs. They'll come in here with their crowd and like DJ music that's sort of related to the events that are happening. We are actually installing a projector in here that will have like David Lynch scenes and other things that are going on in the background.
Nice.
Had some supply issues with that, so it's not quite ready, but it's coming. Yeah.
Work in progress. I mean, look what you've got right here, now already. So just getting started. Well, awesome. Well, anything else that you think is important for people to know?
Our Bar Hollywood neon sign, it was done by a local company called Electric Spaghetti, and they worked with us on it and gave us a great deal, and it's a really cool sign that has like a flashing projector in it. And
nice.
We actually based it off of some neon signs that were in Lynch films. So
perfect.
Yeah.
All tying right back in to the Lynch theme. Well, you guys have done a great job with it. This is awesome.
Cool. Well, thanks for coming by.
Huge thank you to Doug for having us out there. And here's something else. So this is May 14th, just for a timestamp reference of when we're airing this. And we heard from Doug and the Hollywood Theater this morning about some more plans that they have. So they are going to be taking Movie Madness, which is over on Belmont. It's been there since about 1991. That's a huge video rental store. Yes, video rentals and museum, like movie museum. It's an amazing place. They're going to be moving that because Hollywood Theater actually bought it and saved it. They're going to be moving it next door to the Hollywood Theater, actually across the street in the place of an old restaurant. They said that they're going to be setting it up there. They're going to have also a bar and social spaces that are going to be part of this in their whole plan to make the Hollywood Film District. So definitely a lot more that's going to be going on there around the Hollywood Theater, including right there, Bar Hollywood that we just saw. So lots more to come. I'm sure we'll find out more about that down the road. But again, thank you to them for having us out there. Thank you to Ann for editing that one as well. And as I said, sometimes we get out of the studio. If you have an idea for a segment, send me an email, fox12now@kptv.com, fox12now@kptv.com. Sometimes we can make that work. Or maybe there's something else that you want to find out about from our other news shows. Maybe one of the investigative reports and you'd like to hear from the investigative reporter and maybe do a little bit of a deeper dive. That's something that we can do here too as part of this show. But thanks for joining us. We're going to take a quick break. I'll be back at 1:30. We're going to be talking about the Pokemon Regional Championships. Yes, indeed, they're coming to Portland here in just a couple of weeks, actually less than 2 weeks. So we're going to tell you what to expect with that. That's coming up at 1:30 if you're watching live. If you're watching after the fact, it may already be up there under the Fox 12 Now tab. So check that out. All right, talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.